Hi, I'm Goose, and welcome back. Today, I have a very fun interview with Zorincian. Zorincian is a fantastic builder who does mostly competitions and was part of a winners competition on the bakery. This competition was made up of people that had previously been awarded top 5 places in the other competitions. Zorincian has a very unique build style with a ton of movement, a lot of really cool detail, and at a really cool scale. If you want to see some more of his stuff, there's some links to his socials in the description. We spend most of the time talking over his most recent build, but we do go over some of his older builds that are just really, really interesting. Really, really cool builds. He's a fantastic builder. All right, today we are here with Zorincian with this absolutely amazing build that was for the most recent bakery competition. This was the last one, correct?
Yeah, this was the last bakery competition.
This is such a cool build, dude.
The finale's competition. It's like made up of all the previous winners, the top fives of all last competitions over on the bakery.
Oh, nice. What was the theme for this one again?
It was exploration.
That's right. That's right. Okay, cool. So, just a quick little background. How long have you been building in Minecraft?
Since like 2012 or a little before that, more or less. But
Okay, yeah, long time.
I haven't really been building seriously until 2020 or 2019. So only like 4 or 3 years worth of actually building or trying to get good at building.
I mean, that's a lot of progress. I mean, 4 years or not, this is a really crazy build, and it's a ton of. I'm getting a little bit closer to it too. It's a ton of glass, which is
This one I just really wanted to try something a little bit different, trying to go absolutely ham on particle details and getting water down because I heard B-dubs really likes glassy water textures. So I tried to make some ripple effects like up here on the roof. You can see how it has little waves for each and every uh what do you call these roofs? Shingles.
the glass is just an amazing block for, especially for doing water stuff. Not only for the transparency, but a lot of the shapes, like having the single panes that aren't connected to anything. And you did a really good job too with these splashes with a little bit of color in there, like having the cherry buttons as well. It adds just a nice little variation in there that I think works out really well. One of my favorite things about giant scale builds like this is when you do get really close and seeing how chaotic and how many different blocks and how like loose everything looks. I really, really enjoy how that looks. Like right now I'm looking at the character on the top, like their legs and the like some of the floor behind them, and seeing like all those smokers stacked and the tough and the command blocks and all of that. And it looks so chaotic, but as soon as you back up. So what was your inspiration for this kind of a build? Because it is a very interesting looking vehicle.
So I really like post-apocalyptic stuff, and I also like vehicles and robots and stuff. But my main inspiration for this one is I always wanted to do those kind of airship, kind of tugboat kind of designs, like fishing boats, but in the air. And there's this one artist called Ian McHugh, and he makes really cool ones. I'll send you some pictures to on Discord so you can flash them up on your screen
Oh yeah,
post
please.
editing.
Mm-hmm.
But he makes some really cool boats like this, but are like airships. That's where I drew most of my inspiration from.
And do you have a background in art outside of this?
Uh, Not really, but I want to try and get into game development and making video games later on. And so this might have been one of my last kind of huge builds for a while, since since I want to focus more on that and do more realistic looking artworks.
The thing that I think sticks out to me the most with this build is the movement is just so it's consistent and it is vibrant, if you could use the word vibrant to describe movement, especially in the way that you have the nets billowing and the water pouring off, like the amount of splashing you have on there. It really does a great job of conveying the movement and the chaos of the build.
That's one of my favorite things about building. I think a lot of people don't really take that into consideration. Really, like most people just call the best builds out there the best builds because of their texturing for small details or like small block details, like on the faces, and also coloring as well. But for me, I mainly focus instead of on those stuff where that's my weak points. I focus on one the movement, as you said, and also the composition. What I try to focus on is 360 builds that you can view from all different angles and it'll still look good.
Yeah, and it's this one specifically is such a chaotic composition, but you really do it does pull together really well. I think this is which I think especially if you're going into model or game design is definitely the mentality to have that things are going to be viewed from every angle and things are going to be viewed from angles you didn't think they'd be viewed from and to really have a good grasp about how that's composed from 360 degrees because you are making a 3D object is the correct mindset to have, or at least a very beneficial mindset to have when you're developing things like that. So you have this other version of it here that has all of the like the clouds and the particle effects, which I'm getting up in close. What are they?
This one is a little bit more where it's heavily focused on more one angle of the build instead of multiple. And it can even get a better effect if you turn on rainstorm weather.
I love the name too. Loadstone is a great name for for this kind of a ship and for this kind of a design.
That's what I thought too for it.
Do you have a different process for building when you're in competitions versus when you're just like building for yourself? Do you feel like it makes you build differently or better being under that kind of pressure? Or to you is it just you're still just hanging out building?
I kind of just do all my builds whenever a contest is happening. I don't really have any. I used to do a bunch of builds on my own, but mainly I've just been doing them during contests. Behind that wall is one of my older Kibo contest builds. If you want to see that while I go find the thing.
Oh yeah, dude, this is great too. Your light particles on the flashlight are fantastic. This is such a good build, actually. I think this might be my favorite out of the three.
That big one with the animatronic kind of face
Mm-hmm.
is from something called the Electric State, which is another really good artist thing I've seen. The competition theme for that one was this. They named it Pen and Parchment, but it's really what they call it is that just make anything that's from a book series. It should say it on the thing actually, on the podium.
Oh, Simon Stalenhag.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, your movement and action and like the gesture that you have in your builds is really really good. Especially just like the wires and the lasso. It really really does look alive with movement. It's a really really good job with that. Oh, I love the head of the one that he's riding. That's cool.
The Loadstone characters, I was originally going to have the jacket of this dinosaur rider guy as one of them and have the little symbol on the back on the other two characters, but I completely forgot to do that.
I think it worked really well with how you had it. So I don't know if you would you do it differently if you did it again.
I would probably forget it again if I did it again. This one is from this server called Keystone.
Oh, this is cool.
It
Oh,
was just
see,
a
I this is a
smaller one.
it's a that's a fun scale to do the people at, I think.
This smaller scale thing is one of my favorite scales to work with. I just haven't been able to do it much.
What's your process like for building? Like what tools do you use? Do you use a lot of like World Edit or mostly Axiom or how much of your stuff is just hand placed?
I usually, before Axiom was a thing, I would usually just uh, work a lot with brushes, with command brushes, and also / rotate. But now that we have Axium, I just use Axium for everything and just do hand placing for smaller details.
Yeah, Axiom is just an amazing tool that we've gotten recently. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, please go check out Zorincian's stuff. His socials are in the description, and he's put out some more builds since we recorded this, and they're really, really cool. So I'd really recommend going to check them out. A special thank you to all my patrons for sticking around and supporting me. You guys are amazing. Seriously, you guys are amazing. You have no idea how awesome it is that you guys have just supported me through this. It's great. It's great. I can't put words to it. It makes me so happy. If you do want to become a patron, there's a link to that in the description. I also have a Ko-Fi if you want to do just a one-time donation, if a subscription is just not really your thing. And in case you didn't see, I am working on a color theory work kit. This is going to be an actual physical work kit, coloring books, exercises, paints, colored pencils, all that good stuff. And if you would like to help me work on it, I'm going to be doing live streams occasionally on my Discord and on YouTube, and you guys will get to help give me some feedback and even help me design some of the pages. If you want more info on that, you can go check out my most recent live stream. There'll be some more details in there as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, week, month, year even, and I'll see you guys soon. Later.